Waiting for the Rabbeinu Tam next. Wait for you. I appreciate it. Nice. I appreciate it.
Was Rabbeinu Tam 7 or 656? You have no idea.
Okay, Mem Ham base. So we're talking about a Nazir Tahor and the process of finishing his Nazirus. The pasuk says that he brings how does it say over most? What does he do? He brings comes to the base of Mikdash or Moed, and he brings 3 karbonos. It says Achatas Ha'ola and a Shlamim. And also with his Sal Matzos that has 2 kinds of breads, 2 kinds of matzos, Chalos Belulas B'Shem and then Bekika Matzos Meshuchim B'Shem. And then it says that he cuts his hair. And then he says that the Kohen takes the Zroa B'Shela, the cooked Zroa, and one of the 2 breads, one of each of the 2 breads, and he puts it onto the hands of the Nazir, Kapeh Nazir. Achar is Galchom and Es Nizro. Well, maybe we'll put the psukim on if we get there. And then they do Tenufa. Then the Kohen does Tenufa
Waiting
on all these things. There's Roa and one of the 2 breads. And also together with the shok, chazan the shok, he always gets, I think it says that also, al chazan tenufa, al shok, and then the Nazir is allowed to drink wine. That's the process. He brings 3 karbanos.
He can eat them right after the tenufa. He can eat them.
Who eats the regular kosher? I mean, the Kohen gets what he gets, and the rest of them is going to be, and everybody can eat it. And, Torah people,
okay,
like mincha that you eat. So what do we have? We have 3 karbanos, and then he takes a haircut.
Oh,
You go ahead.
Oh, it says here morid. What is morid?
Morid. What is morid? Does it say
the
morid?
4 sides, up and down.
After he did
Mala
the
morid.
thing, and then
What does tenufa mean? Tenufa means that he's mala morid. The way that it is tenufa is that he waves it. Mala morid, maybe that's like we do by lulav. It's also so he brings 3 karbanos, and then he takes a haircut and puts the hair onto the pot of the cooking shlomen. And then it says they do tenufa, and then it's mutter to drink wine. So the Mishnah sums it up. The bottom of them here with base. Or sholkan. He cooked the korban shlamim, and or he says sholkan also. Sholkan is also mutter. They say sholkan means the machlokes of sholok means that it's cooked more than usual, like we call it sholkan, like it's cooked overcooked, more cooked, or some say that it means undercooked. But either one would be good. The pasuk shall be that it's more cooked.
what? Oh,
The shlamim that says he's supposed to cook it, he's supposed to cook it. So shulkan is to be sholek. There's bishul and
You usually say that it needs more cooked.
more cooked. Yeah. And then the Kohen nevertheless is Zerah b'shel minayu v'chalas matzah achas v'nasal v'rokiv matzah achad v'nosan kapei nazir u'manifan. This I do tenufa. They take the Kohen takes the zroa, the arm, which is cooked out of the korban shlamim. That's an ayil, and one of the matzah chalas matzah, one of the rokiv matzah. And he puts it onto the hands of the Nazir, and then he does tenufa. Then it's mutter, then the Nazirus is over, then he's allowed to drink wine, and he's allowed to become Tamid to Mason. So it says that if he does the whole process, which would mean that he bought the 3 karbanos, and he took a haircut, and he did the tenufa, then the Nazirus is over. That's the Tanakama. Rabbi Shimon Omer, to become mutter, even though the Torah says 3 karbanos, haircut, and tenufa, and then he drinks wine, he's really mutter as soon as the first korban was brought. Not even the whole korban, even once he did zrika. He did zrika on the first korban, whichever korban was first, usually the chatas is first, whichever one he would have done would be the first one. And once the zrika was done, he's mutter to drink wine. And don't take the pasuk, even though the pasuk does say that he does all korbanos and the giluach and the tenufa, then he drinks wine, but really it's mutter even after one avoda alone is already mutter.
It's more mekel.
Right. Right. So now I was going to bring a machlokas between Rabbi Lezer and the Chachamim, which is going to come out to be the same machlokas as the Mishnah, just different names. And our Mishnah was a Tanakama and Rabbi Shimon. Now it's going to say the same 2 opinions, and it's going to have the names of Rabbi Lezer and the Chachamim. So Rabbi Lezer is the Tanakama of our Mishnah, and Chachamim is Rabbi Shimon of our Mishnah. So it's the same machlokas over again, just it's going to add on their reasons. So this is not going to be new. This is Chazara, what we just did in the Mishnah. 2 opinions. One is mutter to drink wine and come on the mason. That's the end of the pasuk. Afterwards, the Nazir is allowed to drink wine after he does all that. So after he finishes everything, it would be nice to put the pasuk on Maybe you should, let's get the pasuk going. How do we do this again? I'll have to stop for a second, stop the sharing. And what do I go to? So we have this and this, and we get on. Okay, so we're in Sefer Bamidbar. I think it's Perek Vav or so.
Yud Tes. Maybe I'm the wrong person. Yud Tes and Chav.
Yes, so just to see the pasuk's on the screen. So it talks about results. These pasukim talk about the nazir when he's becoming Torah. So it says those to us the nazir b'yom los Israel. He comes to the Ol Moed and it brings the karbanos, sheep, female sheep, and a ram, and also a basket of matzos, chalos belulos, and mekike matzos, and the kohen is makri with them, and he makes the chatas in the ola, and the island makes into a shlomim, and the hair and the nazir cuts his hair, and he takes the hair and puts it under the fire, then the fire under the shlomim, and the kohen takes, here it is, v'lakacha kohen zroa b'shela min ha'ayil. He takes the zroa b'shela, the cooked zroa. He takes palas matzah achas. He takes rekik matzah echad, both of the breads, one of them. There are many breads of each type. He takes one of each, and he puts it onto the hands of the nazir after acharis galchom in esnes row, after he took a haircut, which is said already. He said in the pasuk in Yisches, he said he took a haircut, and now it said that after he took a haircut, now he takes these things and he does tenufa. Maybe it would be nice to. Is there any tool I can use over here? Doesn't allow me any tools over here. Okay, so here's Acharis Galcho Es Nizro. Then he does tenufa, and then it says V'achar Yishte Nazir Yain. After he does these things, after the tenufa, now he's allowed to drink wine. Then Zos those Toros Hanozer. That's the end of the parsha. So it says 3 korbanos, Giluach, tenufa, and then he drinks wine. So back to the Gemara. Like the pasuk says, after everything, after you finish everything, then he's allowed to drink wine. He has to do everything. Like the Tanakh Mishnah. After one act, just one ma'aseh alone. And one act would mean, like it says in the Mishnah by Reb Shimon, that even the zrikas dam of one of the karbanos is already matem to drink. 3 karbanos, giluach and tenufa, even one carbon is enough. And of course, a carbon means at least a zrika. If it was the one of the mizbeach, that's called he did the carbon. So that's the same machlokes as our Mishnah. Our Mishnah Tanakh and Reb Shimon. Here Tanakh is Reb Elazar, and Reb Shimon is the Chachamim. Now the Gemara wants to know where do they get from? What's the drash? Ma'tamai Rabbanan that say that one thing is enough, even one carbon is enough, because it says so there's a drash over here. Two psukim apart from each other. Here we have. This is our pasuk. That's the pasuk says after which allowed to drink wine. One pasuk before that it said acharis galcho es nizro. When does he do the tenufa? After he cut his hair. And there's going to be some drasha from the word achar and achar that is a common denominator. Just like achar his galcho es nizro meant after one thing. It says do tenufa after you did the giluach. What does the pasuk say? After the haircut, you should do tenufa. So we're not going to talk about the haircut as being anything in particular. That's that. It's one thing. It's a one thing after one thing. If you learn the pasuk pshat, achar yishta nazir yain, here the pasuk pshat in the pasuk here that now he could drink wine. That means after he did everything, 3 karbonos, giluach, tenufa, then he could drink wine. But the word over here, this word achar says after one thing, after as galcho as nazir is this row. So since over here the word achar meant after one thing, here too the achar yishta nazir means after one of the things. We mentioned a lot of things. We mentioned 3 karbanos. We mentioned giluach, but after one, even the first one is already with it. That's the drash. It's not a regular simple drash. It just says that achar shows us the number of things that we're talking about, and it's not all these things. It's one thing. Ma hasam achar ma'aseh yechidi afkan achar ma'aseh yechidi. Let's talk over there. I meant one individual act. So too is one individual act, and that means after any zrikas dam.
In the second pasuk.
In the second pasuk, right? Nazir yain, when is a mutter after one thing? So as long as you do one thing, maybe 2 things, maybe because the pasuk says
means 2.
After tenufa also, because there was a tenufa and the after. Maybe it means after all the things that were said before. Acharis galcho, I put it this way. Acharis galcho, it said also after there were kabbanas, and then there was the giluach. So acharis galcho, maybe it includes, even though the pasuk just enumerates acharis galcho after the giluach, but there also were the kabbanas before also. So maybe it means after the kabbanas and the giluach, which is two things. So the Gemara says.
That's what Pesach says.
So the Gemara says, then the Gzer Shav wouldn't have done anything for you. If you have to have everything that it says, so then the Gzer Shav wouldn't be teaching anything. That's what it says. And the Gzer Shav seems to be telling you a chiddush. The chiddush must be that even after one thing is enough. So that was the reasons of the Tuman D'Yomrim, and goes back to our Mishnah. That's machlokes. If you have to do everything, or even the first korban is enough that he's already allowed to drink wine.
Before
Even before he did the second or third korban, just one korban. The chatos korban is the first korban, and once he did zrikas adam of the first korban, he's already allowed to drink wine.
What does the Ichachi do at the end?
That's the answer. If you be right that it means tava, you need two things. You need the korbanos and the giluah. So then you didn't get anything for the Gzer Shav. The Gzer Shav didn't teach you anything.
The Gzer Shav of Achar.
Of achar, right? The word achar has to teach you something that you wouldn't have known without that Gzer Shav. So since without the Gzer Shav, he would have said it means after everything. The reason, the simple reading of the pasuk says, do this, and this, then you can drink wine. So if that's so, then the Gzer Shav didn't teach you anything. It must be the Gzer Shav coming to minimize and say you don't need everything. Something similar to Acharis Galcho, which meant after one act. And the one act is not going to be the Giluach, it's going to be after the first korban. So once he bought the first korban, he's very allowed to drink wine.
Like ready.
This is the explanation of Rabbi Shimon, the Chachamim here, Rabbi Shimon in the Mishnah.
So when it said Ema Ada Ikatravaihu, it wasn't really a kasha.
It was asking that your Gzer Shava doesn't allow you to learn so much. Maybe the Gzer Shava is telling you to do the same thing as over there, which means that it was after the Karbanos and the Giluach. So they do the Tenufa here also. You could drink wine after the Karbanos and the Giluach. Right. So it must be coming to tell you something. So we have the Machlokas and the reasons.
What's the order first? It's Galachak and then
the order is 3 Karbanos and then the Giluach and then the Tenufa. That's you read the pasuk alone. You put the pasuk here. It says here that it brings the 3 Karbanos, and then the Kohen takes. Then the nazir passes here, and then the Kohen does the Tenufa. And then it says here, the Tenufa is on this roll of B'Shela, one of the Chalas Matzah, one of the Bekik Matzah, and also together with the Chazah and the Shok, he does Tenufa on those 5 things, and then the Nazir is allowed to drink wine. If you read the simple pshat of the pasuk, that you get that he do everything, then you drink wine at the end. For some reason, he wants to drink wine right away. He's not going to take so long. It won't take so long, but he wants to drink wine. So he's a mutter to drink wine according to the second sheet, according to the Chachamim. He's allowed to drink after one mice after the Zrikas. Last time was of Shimon after the Zrikas Adam of one of the Karbanos already. Okay, Amar Rav. So now we'll take Rav and just underline him. Amar Rav Tenufa Benazir Makeves. That Tenufa is the last thing he does. That the Kohen is mainif, there's Rob B'Shela with the breads and the Chazal B'Shok. He does Tenufa and he says that's Makev. Makev means that he can't drink wine until after the Tenufa. We just had a machlokes if you have to do everything or one korban is enough. Of course, he has to bring all the korbanos, but he's allowed to drink wine after one korban. So Rav said that Tenufa is Makev. Tenufa is Makev means that it stops him. He didn't do Tenufa, so he's not allowed to do. That's not much the last thing of the whole list. There are 3 korbanos, Giluach and Tenufa, and he says that Tenufa is Makev. I'll leave it the man. Who does he mean to say according to? There's a machlokes now. We have machlokes if you have to do everything. Rabbi Lezer said Achamaisa Kulon after everything, and the Chachamim said after one thing is enough. I'll leave it the man. Ilay Madiba the Rabbanan, Tiglachas Ami Rabbanan Lo Makva Tenufa Mibaya. The Rabbanan said that one thing is only needs one thing, one korban, the dam of one korban. So they hold even the haircut is not marking. So it can't be that the Tenufa is marking.
So what does that mean? So it means it's not the Rabbanan?
That when Rav was talking, he wasn't going according to the Rabbanan Shibay. If you hold like the Rabbanan, then Tenufa is surely not marking. He'll be the first one to tell you that Tenufa is not marking according to Rabbanan. It just means to say, maybe it means according to Rabbi Lezer, but according to Rabbanan, if even the second and third korban is not marking and the Giluch is not marking, so surely the Tenufa is not marking. I would have thought because the Giluch goes first and the order, I would have thought so, but the Mepharshim say because the Giluch is something in the Nazir himself. And if that's not marking, so surely the Tenufa, which is the outside issue, outside thing that you have to do, besides not on the body of the Nazir, so surely it's not marking. So according to Rabbanan, that say that one Isa Achamaisi Yechidi, it's he's allowed to drink wine. So then surely the tenufa is not ma'akev. So Rab did not mean to say according to the Shita of the Rabbanan. According to Rabbanan, one ma'aseh yechidi and is allowed to drink wine. So what did he mean to say? According to Rabbi Eliezer says that after everything. So he said everything means the tenufa also.
Yeah.
Even though we spoke about the karbonos and the giluach, but that he said that's ma'akev. You have to have ma'aseh kulan, you have to have all the ma'asim. But he's saying that tenufa is ma'akev, and the Gemara wants to know why is that a chiddush? Ela libed Rabbi Eliezer must mean Rav must mean the contrary Rabbi Eliezer that says that you have to have everything. Everything means the tenufa also. Again, we said three karbonos, giluach, and tenufa, and he's saying that tenufa is also ma'akev. If he didn't do the tenufa, he's not allowed to drink wine. So pshita, if he says after everything, so everything includes the tenufa. You look in the pasuk, that's also called everything. After everything, that's what it says. It says three karbonos, giluach, tenufa, vacha, yishta, nazir. So why is that a chiddush? Surely it's telling this machlok. It's according to Rabbanan, it's not ma'akev. According to Rabbi Eliezer, it is ma'akev. So surely it includes the tenufa also. The Gemara says no. You might have thought differently. As far as being yosei karbonos, each carbon by karbonos usually we say you're supposed to do tenufa. Certain karbonos are supposed to have tenufa, but tenufa lo ma'akev. It's not ma'akev. Same way, like for instance, like by lulav. By lulav also he's supposed to do tenufa. He's supposed to wave the lulav, right? He's supposed to do nanuim, but it's not ma'akev. If you yosei the mitzvah of lulav, even if you didn't, just to pick up the lulav, you held it. You yosei the mitzvah, even though you're supposed to do all the tenufa, but it's not ma'akev. So like karbonos also, even though you're supposed to do tenufa, it's not ma'akev. The carbon yosei the carbon. So you might think the same way that yosei the carbon without the tenufa, so you might think that the tenufa is also not going to stop him from drinking wine. Here, there are two things happening. One is he has to bring karbonos, and also there's a heter for him to drink wine. He's becoming now finishing his nazirus that he's allowed to drink wine. So you might think the same way that tenufa is not ma'akev a carbon, also it wouldn't be ma'akev for him from being able to drink wine. That as far as this, the heter of drinking wine is dependent on achar yishta another yain only after he does everything, which means the three karbonos and the giluach and the tenufa. And if he doesn't do that, he can't drink wine. The words of the Gemara are Shiyarei mitzvah. Shiyarei mitzvah is as far as being yosei the carbon, it's called Shiyarei mitzvah. What does Shiyarei mitzvah mean? The word literally means like shirayim, it's like leftover, which the Gemara uses that expression to say that it's not ma'akev. Like you're supposed to do it, and if you don't do it, if you leave it over,
what does it mean kapora?
Being yosei a carbon. When you bring a carbon, when you bring a carbon that has to have tenufa, if you didn't, let's say we said chazav b'shov, Shlomo was supposed to have tenufa, chazav b'shov. If you didn't do it, you still yosei the carbon. Any carbon that's supposed to have tenufa, if you didn't do it, you still yosei the carbon. So you might think it's just like when you yosei the carbon, the tenufa is not ma'akev. That's called shori mitzvah, means that it's not ma'akev. So you might think that here also, as far as the issue of drinking wine, that it's not ma'akev, even though everything is ma'akev. Everything's achamai sekulim, after everything, after the three karbonos and after the giluach. But you might think tenufa is an exception because we find in other aspects that tenufa is not essential. If you didn't do it, it's still beseder. So you might think as far as drinking wine, you know you're supposed to do it, but it's not ma'akev. Kamash malan that it is ma'akev. So it comes out of machlokes.
Like Rabbi Eliezer.
According to Rabbi Eliezer. According to Rabbanan, it's not ma'akev. You think giluach is not
We thought it
ma'akev.
was pshita, but he wanted to dafka.
Right, there is a chiddush over there.
And Rav holds like Rabbi Eliezer.
No, but at least he's saying according to Rabbi Eliezer, that would be the Allah. So, yes, go ahead.
It seems to be his opinion. It seems to be.
It could be, yeah, it could be. I see here that the Rambam seems to pass on Achamaisi Yechidi, that even after one thing like the Rabbanan, and in our Mishnah they might say also. I didn't look at the Rambam, but it does seem to say that he seems to pass in that Achamaisi Yechidi. So it could be no pass like this. As far as the halacha,
Well, that was the Rabbanan. He just said,
right. Rabbanan say any one thing, anything is not. So it's like that's what the Rambam, the letters of the Rambam seem to be that it's not ma'akev, but the Rambam paskins that tenufa is ma'akev and means going according to Rabbi Eliezer. Amud beis. I'm not going to do too much tonight. I didn't get the Gemara; it got a little complicated for me, so I'll do about a half amud now, and tomorrow we'll continue that question. The Baruch Kasha Omi Ma'akva is tenufa ma'akev. Of course, he means according to Rabbanan. It surely is not ma'akev, right? Rabbanan say anything is good. So, but Rabbi Eliezer says that everything's ma'akev. Rav said tenufa also, and the Gemara is going to find a brisa that the Gemara thinks is going to say that according to Rabbi Eliezer, it's not ma'akev. Rabbanan surely say it's not ma'akev. That's what we said in
Right now,
Rabbanan.
we're holding that it ma'akevs, and we said it's like Rabbi Eliezer.
Right,
It's a
right.
hiddush for him.
Right, and the Gemara is going to attack that. that one was to prove that according to Rabbi Eliezer is also not market. Even though everything else is market, the three kabbanas and the giluch is market, but tenufa is not market. According to Rabbanan, Shuli is not market. One of the Zrika Saddam is already a lot of people on. That's finished. But according to Rabbi Eliezer, that says you need everything, the Gemara is going to present a case that you don't need the tenufa.
Okay.
Rab said you need the tenufa also. And don't say that it's showing mitzvah. And the Gemara is going to try to prove that it is not market, even according to Rabbi Eliezer. Here it goes. It says in the Brisa, those Torahs and Nazir. Bein sheyesh lo kapayim, bein she'ein lo kapayim. That's the Brisa. It says in the pasuk, those Torahs and Nazir.
The
pasuk is those Torahs and Nazir. That's the pasuk. Those Torahs and Nazir. And the Drasha, the Brisa says, no difference if he has hands or not. What does that have to do with the hands? Because it says when you do tenufa, you put it al kapei nazir. The pasuk says, well, let's jump a second to the pasuk. Here's the pasuk. Here it says he puts it al kapei nazir. That the Kohen takes all these things. He's supposed to take this roll of b'shelo with the two breads. He puts it on the hand of the nazir, and then he does tenufa. So he puts it on the hands of the nazir. What if the nazir doesn't have hand?
The nazir doesn't have hand.
The nazir doesn't have a hand. So the Brisa says there's no difference if he has a hand or not. If he has hands or not. So it's a little ambiguous. It doesn't say which way does it go. Both if he has the hands or not, it's the same. It's just that it's the same.
It doesn't mark it.
What?
Doesn't mark it.
It's not market. So you're assuming that if he has no hands,
it's still
surely not market.
Yeah.
If he has no hands, you're taking for granted that if he has no hands, it's surely not market. Like what do you want from it? He has no hands.
I thought that's what it's teaching.
It's market.
But no, it's coming to tell you there's no difference if it has or doesn't have. And they're saying that one is a given and the other one is going to be like that also. That's the gist of the Brisa is saying that there's no difference between the two. That means one we know about, one is a given, and the other one
one is that the Kohen puts it in his hand.
No, that's but here it's but you can't say he puts it on his hand if he has no hand. The Brisa is not saying that even if he has no hand, put it in his hand. He has no hand. So there has to be something about that. If he didn't do it, if he has hands and he has hands and he didn't do the tenufa, he didn't do it. So there's no difference if he has hands or doesn't have hands. And you're supposed to know that one is a given, and the other one we're going to learn out. It also has a similar din.
If he has hands, then it is market. If he doesn't have hands, then he's on this.
So then you're saying that it's not the same. The Brisa says it is the same.
In what ways it say it's the same?
Ben sheyesh lo kapayim, ben she'ein lo kapayim.
Right.
No. What do the words mean? First, before I have pshat, what are the translation?
Are you talking about market?
No,
I didn't say anything. First, what the words mean? Before I didn't say before editorial.
Right.
First the translation, then the commentary. What is the translation? The translation is no difference if he has hands or he doesn't have hands. Whatever you can explain has to be on those words.
It seems like you're leaning towards the given is whether that he doesn't have hands, and I'm saying the given is he has hands. The pasuk
So what-
says
and
put
what
it
is
in
it?
his hands, and it's a given.
And then it says that even if he has no hands, also put into his hands. What is it going to say then? What is it going to teach according to you? If you're saying that it's a given, that if he has hands, what are you supposed to
that
do?
he didn't put it in his hands.
He did
because
not put it in
doesn't-
his hands.
Well, he doesn't have hands.
So which is the given? Tell me a given, and then we'll talk
The
about that.
given is he has to put it in his hands.
And now you're going to say that if he has no hands,
if he
also he has
has
to put
no-
it into his hands.
No, I'm going to say that it doesn't, and if he doesn't put it in his hands, it's still okay. Just like it was okay that he. I said that he has to.
I don't know. You'd have to tell me. Like you're creating.
You're creating.
No, you're creating a pshat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also trying to
I
create.
hear.
So the Brisa is just mashma that there's a given, and we're comparing the other case to the given. And the kasha, the Gemara is over already. They're supposed to understand the kasha. The Gemara is proving from here that it's not market. It's market. It's true for market. This Brisa says it's not market.
These are the laws of the nazir.
Both if he has hands or he doesn't have hands.
Okay,
And
so
that's
it
supposed
seems
to
like
prove-
if he has hands and he doesn't put it in his hands, even though the pasuk says he puts it in his hands,
But this Brisa seems to tell us that it's not market.
that it's not market.
Because-
Based on the fact that even if he didn't have
Right.
hands,
As if
then
to
it
say,
would still be
then-
kosher.
right, that's a
Yeah.
given. That's the given. It seems that everybody understands if he doesn't have hands, he can't do tenufa. And as if it
Right.
says, and for sure he can get out of his zeros like that. We're not going to talk about that even.
Yeah.
And now it says even if he has hands, it's also not market. Then
Okay, but I was already teaching or whatever the word is.
yeah.
So you put it in his arms. He doesn't have hands, so put it in his arms. And let him wave. You can't wave without hands?
maybe you're right.
So
At
it
this
doesn't
point-
matter that he doesn't have hands, let him wave with his arms.
So could you fit this into the Gemara, into what the Gemara wants
No,
to?
because it says, because
I mean,
we're,
we're in the
we
middle
have
of
an
it.
agenda that
Right.
it's
We're
not.
gonna prove from this brisa that it's not market.
Uh-huh,
The Gemara sees in this brisa that it's not market. Could be your answer is gonna be what the Gemara is gonna
uh-huh,
answer, but so far, let's see
okay.
the Rosh over here. The Rosh says over here, because the Hachi Pirusha, the Gemara thinks that the pshat of the brisa is Kamosha ain't lo kapayim ain't no meiniv, just like that's a given. That if he has
It
no
doesn't.
hands, he can't do tenufa. Kenami yesh lo kapayim ain't tenufa makevas.
But even if he has hands and he doesn't do tenufa,
It's not market.
it's not okay.
The Rosh just points out also, so maybe it's Rabbanan. Rabbanan surely says it's not market. The Rabbanan, that's we started off. The whole question is only Rabbi Lezer.
Yeah.
But the Rosh says it can't be going because then you only need a pasuk. According to
No, we're in Rabbi
Rabbanan,
Eliezer.
you want. How do you know that? Maybe it's in Rabbanan. How do you
Because
know?
we just talked about him on the previous page,
But
and now
maybe-
we're attacking him.
Right, but maybe, but how could the Gemara ask the kasha? How could, you're right, the Gemara is saying that according to Rabbi Lezer, but how does the Gemara know that this price is going according to Rabbi Lezer? Maybe the price is going according to Rabbanan. You have no right from here that it's
It's
not
going
market according to Rabbi
towards-
Lezer. Maybe it's not market according to Rabbanan,
Oh,
which we also know that's not market according to Rabbanan. So the Rosh says that then you wouldn't need a pasuk of those Torahs and Nazir. That's the Gemara said before, that nothing's market. So that
Oh.
it wouldn't be this pasuk. So it
I
must be
see.
going according to Rabbi Lezer, that even though everything is market, but this is not market. Find out if you're happy with this?
I didn't get the last one.
But without the listing is good, that the Gemara sees in this brisa that there's no difference if he has hands or not. And if he has no hands, it's pasha that the more thinks it's pasha that he is Yotze, you could get out of it. So even if he has hands,
And he's also.
he is also Yotze. That's the worst kasha. Okay.
and that's
If
against
he
Rabbi
does
Eliezer.
that-
so you need
Not
everything
again, it's against Rav. It's against Rav.
against
That
Rav.
said, according to Rabbi Lezer, you need that.
Oh,
Rabbi Lezer is a Tana. Rav is in a mode that explained him. And then there's a brisa that seems to explain Rabbi Lezer differently.
okay.
Just a comment from Rashi, on the end of the first line, Rashi brings on the Brisa, and the second line, Rashi says, "L'kai Mrs. Tanufa, Ben Shem like Kai Shatanufa Ena Makevas." Whether he has hands, he doesn't have hands. If he didn't do Tanufa, it's not a problem.
Right.
The Chayra, I mean,
That's what the Gemara is trying to figure out from this brisa, right? So now the Gemara says that you got they're ready in the answer now. The Gemara, that's ready the count. Cash is over. And now the Gemara is going to prove you got the wrong shot in the brisa. The brisa you read wrong. There's another brisa, and the brisa reads like this. A little change of color. It says those Torahs are nazir. Those Torahs are okay. Those Torahs are nazir. Ben sheyesh lo seyor. Ben she'ein lo seyor. Another brisa. Also, the same pasuk those Torahs are nazir, but here it says not if he has hands or not. Here it says if he has hair or not.
What happens in 30 days? We have to give him 30 days of hair growth before we already know that. He has to have an extra 30 days. to
This
grow his
person
hair.
doesn't have hair. This person is bald.
Right, right.
So,
Oh, you mean-
Nazir is that?
Even if 20 days, nothing's growing. It's just not happening.
you can say that it's easy to it's easy to
Tell me
go on
that he's
Nazir.
got a wine allergy as well. He doesn't drink wine anyway.
he's not Matal Mason, he's a grave digger. So I want a month off. I want a month off.
So here it says a pasuk.
Actually, it's just here.
No difference if he has hair or not. Now, if we take the formula, that's the formula. What are we trying to when we say no difference? Yes, no difference if he has hands or not. No difference if he has hair or not. And how do we learn so far the first brisa that if he has no hands, for sure it's okay. For sure he can get out of his. And so too, if he has hands, it's not marking. If you're going to say that pattern over here, how are you going to read it? That if he has no hair, for sure he could get out of his naziros. We're not talking about how he was a nazir. Fine, he
Yeah.
waited 30 days, 7 years. It didn't help.
Yeah.
He didn't get any hair, but now he's supposed to cut his hair in the Torah process. He doesn't have any. He doesn't have any hair to cut.
Right.
He doesn't have any hair
You
to cut.
that's the second thing, right? He
Right,
offers the
then
core.
you'll have
3 karbanos, a haircut, and tenufa.
Yeah, yeah. So,
He has no hands. The other point is he has no hair. He's supposed to take it. He can't take it. I'm not sure yet, but first to get that Torah wants to say, how did you read the first brisa? He has no hands, for sure it's okay. So if he has hands also, it's not marked if he didn't That he has no hair to shocking. He can get out of the Naziros without cutting his hair. It's also not marking. That's how the Brisa would read. Are you going to read that? Are you going to say it means that if he has no hair, it's not marking? It means the given. He has no hair to cut. He has no hair to cut. So you're going to say that it's still not marking? That's the given. Ain't no say shows not marking. And even Yesh lo say is also not marking. Is that true? But there's a Brisa that talks about a Nazir who's bald. Nazir Memorot, a bald Nazir.
He's bald.
Yeah. The question seems to be he has no hair to cut, but it says that he's supposed to take the gilach Israel. Maybe he's supposed to at least take the razor and pass it over his head, even though there's nothing. There's nothing to cut. So he doesn't have to pass the razor over his head. And Bishamai, he still says he does have to. He does have to pass the razor over his head. It seems to be that Bishamai says
you do a process even if no hair comes.
Right. And Bama Ravina, my Enot Sarach LeBeishamai, Enot Sarach, Enot Takana. That when Beishamai says you don't have to, means there's no purpose in doing it because you can't get out of it. You're stuck. You have to cut your hair, and you have no hair to cut. So he still has an eitzah to go through the motion. He still says don't bother doing the motion because it's not going to help anyway. Right? Beishamai says it doesn't help going through the motions because it's not going to help anyway. Enot Sarach, Enot Takana.
So what is the mind?
Which word?
Ravina started with mind.
Ravina says, what does Einot Tzarech LeBeishamai mean? My Einot Tzarech LeBeishamai. What do those words mean? According to Shammai, he says, it means Ein Tzarech Takana. It means it doesn't have to because it doesn't help. Don't bother doing it because it's a waste of time. Not that you don't need it, you don't help. It doesn't help because you can't get out of his Naziris.
I have a different question. Why is the Naziris Bechlal Chol? Somebody who's completely bald?
Why should it not?
If I go like Beishamai, that's the reason. Never chal. Because he can't never do my what's
You want to say
doesn't have anything.
So it shouldn't take effect in the first place.
There you can become not Nazir when you can become honest.
You're going to say that eventually you'll bring a carbon. You could bring a carbon to the Smith gets built. You'll be able to have here if it goes again. I don't know. You're asking. I don't know I don't know if it's a kasha, but if it's a kasha, I don't know the answer. It means you're saying that since it can't get out of the Nazir, she shouldn't be able to get into it either. Since you're not saying because he has nothing to grow. You're not saying because of the what kind of Nazir is that anyway is not going to grow. You're saying that he can't go through the Torah process. So to get out of it, so maybe it's not.
Avrohom doesn't get out of this.
Who says you have to be able to get out of your Naziris? Maybe you don't have to be able to get out of your Naziris. Like I'm just saying, and there's such thing as making a zero that he said, I'm not going to get out. Okay?
It's like all those marriages where can't start because
Creases doesn't take effect.
Never.
Okay, Kedusha is not tough. It's not something that it's not a riot.
I'm saying you were never.
Because you can marry somebody, you can marry it by that Kedusha is tough. So those kind of the relationships are called that they're not the Torah of Kedusha, but it doesn't prove over here that it needs more proof. The question needs more proof. I'm not dismissing it. I don't know, but okay. So what does the one want? Yes.
Just to say, sir, what Chantal is saying is, call Bila Makaves.
No, that's not. Chantal wants to know. He wants to say it shouldn't become a Nazir. It shouldn't become a Nazir. His Nazir shouldn't be found. Yeah, you're talking about something else. You're talking about should it be Ma'akev if it can't. You're talking the entire process. He's not talking that language. Chantal's talking about if he becomes a Nazir in the first place. They're talking about if he can get out of the Naziris. But
no, he's saying
it's not. Yeah, but that's not. It's Makevis in the getting out of it, not getting into it.
It's not fulfilling anything, right? You can't bring coverage.
Chandav's not talking about it. He's talking about this becoming Nazir in the first place.
I think it's similar. You can't cover mincha where you only have one kli, and then you want to put in somebody lug of shemen, and it's in the mix. Fine.
You can talk about in this. The Gemara will talk about it today. The Gemara will talk about the bottom of the page, but that's going to be that he can't take a haircut. It could be a person just to put it into our subject who has hair or has a hand and he doesn't do it, so you can say it's as Roy. But he doesn't have a hand, he doesn't have hair. So then, even if it's not market, if he doesn't have the ability to do it, say it is market. That's where the eight people would kick in. Okay, so that's anyway. What does the Gemara want to see from all this? The Gemara wants to prove that you can't say that Ein Lo Seor is the given that it's not ma'akeh, because here it says that there is what he's supposed to do over here. Shammai says that it's ma'akeh and he can't get out of the nazirus. He still says you're supposed to be mavrit tar. You are supposed to pass a razor over. Nobody says that you don't have to do anything. Not Shammai, not Shammai. Again, this brisa in the blue, you can't read the brisa means that Ein Lo Seor, if he has no hair, that's pashut that he doesn't have to do anything. And then we're going to learn out that if he has hair, also he doesn't have to, because nobody says that that's the pshat. In the case of Ein Lo Seor, Beis Shammai says that he's a goner. He can't get out of it. He doesn't say he doesn't have to do it. Beis Shammai says you have to and you can't, and therefore there's nothing to do for you. And Beis Hillel says you're supposed to pass the razor over the head. But nobody says that. And if he passes the razor over the head when he has hair, it's going to cut the hair. So what does the brisa mean? When the brisa says that there's no difference between having hair and not having hair, it doesn't mean like you understood that the not having hair for sure is not a problem. And even if he has hair, it's also not ma'akeh. The brisa can't mean that because nobody says like that. Everyone says that he has to, that it's a problem. The problem he has no hair.
Shammai say, sorry.
No, Sarach would mean he doesn't. We would have thought that, but Ravina means no, it doesn't mean that.
No, it's
right. It means don't bother doing it because it's not going to help them. So if you ask now, what is the Misha Ein Lo Seor? Shammai says no takana to get out of it.
Oh, meaning that it is market.
It is market, and Basil says you're supposed to pass the rate. Also, there's what to do.
What to do.
So the brisa can't.
Then you can.
But
both mean that it's market.
Yeah, you have to do something.
Yeah.
Either Shammai says you have to do, and so you're stuck. And Basil says you have to do, and go ahead, do it with it on the ball head.
Okay.
But you can't say that the brisa means that Ein Lo Seor for sure is not a problem.
Right, so this is the difference. Is this the same price as the first price?
It's the same formula. You see, so Torah's Hanozir, Ben Sheish Lekram, so Torah's Hanozir. It might even be in the same price. I don't know. I didn't look it up. But if it is or not, it's the same formula. So whatever the second price means, the first price also means. So don't show me that it means that Ein Lo Seor for sure is not a problem. And if Ein Lo Kapayim is surely not a problem, and Yesh Lo Kapayim doesn't mean that. The price must mean the opposite. The price must mean that Ein Lo Seor is going to be learned the opposite. I see that in the
okay, so we had a kasha. You didn't go further, but isn't that a kasha on Beis Hillel?
What's the kasha?
What kind of a takana is it that doesn't do anything?
No, there's
That's what the question was.
Where's the question?
That it was Hala Beis Hillel, Yesh Lo Takana. I thought the takana is that.
No, the kind of means that.
Passing a razor over, he didn't do anything.
So Beis Hillel says you do. That's called.
Ha means behold is a takana.
There is what to
not a
do.
question.
According to Beis Shammai, there's nothing what to do, and according to Beis Hillel, there is what to do.
Okay. Let's see.
So now we have the new reading of the brisa. How we read the brisa? Ein Lo Seor. What do we know about? We don't know about Ein Lo.
That is gonna will mark it if he doesn't do something.
Everybody else have to do something. And now when the brisa says that both are the same, we learned out that if he but Bein Sheyesh Lo Seor, they say now the Gemara is switching around, proving that it's saying that Ein Lo Seor is the same thing as Yesh Lo Seor. What's the din of Yesh Lo Seor? Is the
That you have to do or it'll mark
market?
it. So this isn't. Then it would mean that it would be market if you don't do something.
Here the Rosh explains. I have to skip this a second. For Tanya Nozim Amo, Basil says, "Achinami Rafi Pirusho Ein Asach La B'Tal Rosho Kilo Torah Lo." Ul Rabbi Lezer Damatik Lachas Ma'Keves Asa B'Yayin La'olam. Ul Rabbanan Lo Kiyem Mitzvahs Kiluach. Ul Basil Yesh Lo Takana. Rabbi Lezer lishos yain. Rabbi l'kain mitzvah. V'hachi yeshesh efshe shabbat lahashvos yesh lo le'ein lo. Here, the Brisa can't mean that it's coming, what the Gemara thought, that it's coming to say that having a hand is the same as not having a hand. Here it doesn't go. You can't say, the Brisa here can't be like that. You can't say that having here is the same as not having a hand. It's not the same. If he has no hair, he can't get out of it. If he has hair, he could get out of it. He's supposed to take a haircut. According to Beishamai, right? Beishamai says he's lost. If he has hair, he's not lost. The Brisa can't mean to compare Yeshlo to Einlo. Because Einlo.
No, can't you say he can't do anything because he doesn't have hair, but if he has hair and he doesn't do something.
And no, so
you can't say that. Doesn't what it means. I thought we were saying both
are the
cases it'll
same.
be Ma'akev. If he has hair and he doesn't do anything, he'll be Ma'akev. And if he doesn't have any hair, he can't do anything, so it's Ma'akev.
if he doesn't do anything.
Isn't that?
He says, according to Bisham, he's not saying God doesn't have here, yeah, I can't get out. According to it's also not a comparison to say, what it's going to say, it's teaching you to know the same way if he has no hair, he has to pass the razor over his bald head. So too, if he has to pass the razor over his hairy head. You don't, that's the pasuk. The pasuk says that he's supposed to take a haircut.
Also, Beis Hillel can also count.
Also, read to say that it's coming to teach you that having is like not having. This is what the Gemara wants to prove. That the way to read the Brisa is the opposite. That Yeshlo the given. We were saying that the Brisa has one given. We're trying to figure out what the given is. The Brisa thought the given was the aim. Now you're saying no. This is the main point. That the given is the Yesh. L'lametcha the Einlo tzarach havoras ta ubeis Hillel he. That the Brisa must be Beis Hillel. That by Yeshlo we know that there's an eight. So what he's supposed to do if he has hair? He's supposed to cut his hair. So he's saying that Einlo is the same.
Take a risk.
And he doesn't do anything. It doesn't make a difference. Do the same thing.
Since he takes a risk.
Einlo doesn't have hair.
Right.
Beis Hillel says he does do something. He takes a risk.
It takes a risk. It doesn't accomplish anything. The din of Einlo is the same thing as Yeshlo. Yeshlo, we know the Torah says take a razor over the hair. So also, if he has no hair, also that's what the Brisa.
And so then this is the support for Rav.
So now we'll go back to the first Brisa with the hands. What does it say?
And because it has to be the same for the first Brisa.
Right, the first Brisa worked at the same formula. They both of them say that no difference between Yeshlo and Einlo. So here, if we know that the formula now reads that Yeshlo is the given and Einlo is being learned out. I think this is what Rabbi Yaakov was caught right away.
Yeah,
that Yeshlo is supposed to do tenufa, and now it says Einlo you have to do the same thing.
Use your arms.
So use the arms, even though he doesn't have palms. So do the same thing. Now it's the same thing. But still was learning out that if he doesn't have hair, anyway, act as if he do have hair. So if he doesn't have palms, also act as if he has palms.
That was the first way I read it.
Good.
That's the way I want to read it.
So you got it.
Except that it wouldn't.
But the problem is the hair one.
Led us the other way.
What?
The
The
Gemara
Gemara didn't think so. Right? The Gemara didn't
led
think
us
so. The Gemara didn't think so. Now, is there ma'akev or not? We're going to go back to the case of tenufa. So he says there doesn't say anything if it's ma'akev or not. If you want to now go back, where are we going? If you want to know, there's the Brisa to tell us if it's ma'akev. According to this new reading, it doesn't tell us if it's ma'akev. It just says this is what he's supposed to do. If he has hair, if he has hands, he's supposed to do tenufa. If he doesn't have hands, he's also supposed to do tenufa. That's all it says. Now you want to know is it ma'akev? So we don't know if it's ma'akev. You know, we had a machlokes if it's
We
ma'akev.
don't know. I thought that meant that it was Ma'akev.
It doesn't have, you don't know anymore, because if we ask somebody before we started this Brisa, if he has hands, is tenufa ma'akev? So we would have told you, but all of it's machlokes according to the Rabbanan, it's not ma'akev, as long as it's then. According to Rabbanan, it is ma'akev, what Rav said. So, okay, so you want to know if it's ma'akev or not? So that'll be the machlokes, but it doesn't talk about it over here. All it just says is that if he doesn't have hands, he has to act as the procedure as if he has hands. If he doesn't have hair, he should have the procedure as if he has hair.
And the same with the razor. It's part of the procedure.
Right. I'm not sure how to continue the Gemara now. Behind the Rabbi Pedas, this fits with what Rabbi Pedas says. Rabbi Pedas, V'Shamai Rabbi Lezer Amud Over Echad. I guess it's going to change later. So there seems to be someone's going to say. But what I said, what we said so far is fits with Rabbi Pedas. Because Rabbi Pidas, Beishamai and Beleza say the same thing. Why do we see Beishamai and Beleza say the same thing? My Rabbi Eliezer, the Tanya, Ein lo bon yad b'regel, Ein lo tar lamas. What is somebody by a mitzvah? This is a different subject. The Tanakh. By a mitzvah, by the Torah process of mitzvah is someone doesn't have a thumb. In the Torah process, he's supposed to put the blood, the Shem is supposed to put it onto his thumb. And he doesn't have a thumb or a big toe. So can he get out of the mitzvah? Can he become Torah from the mitzvah? He doesn't have a thumb or a big toe. Ein lo Torah olam is Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer says he can't get out of it. He never could become Torah.
Just like Beishami said, you can't pass the Torah. You can't do anything. It's
right. Ein lo takana. So this is going back to what we said that Ravina said means Ein Tzorach Ein lo takana. That fits with Rabbi to get out of it since he has no thumb. So Beishamai says that if he has no hands, he can't, or he has no hair, he can't get out of the nazir. So here's Hanakam was Rabbi Eliezer. He says that in the Torah Lamis. Rabbi Shimon says just put it on the place where it's supposed to be the thumb. Same thing as over here. That Beisil says that take the razor over the hair where the hair is supposed to be. So that fits with
the whole
Beisil.
klal is that do something that's similar in nature.
Right. That's according to Rabbi Shimon and Beisil. But Rabbi Eliezer seems to go like Beisil. Beishamai that you can't. You don't make
the place where it was cut off. There is no thumb there.
There's no thumb. So put it right. Put it in the place where the thumb is supposed to be. Right. In the stub of the thumb. And the Chachamim small v'yotza. Put it on his left hand. If he has a left hand, even though it's supposed to put on the right hand, the right thumb, put on the left thumb. But what did more see from this? That Rabbi Eliezer says that if he has no thumb, can't Torah. So if he has no hair, according to Bisham, he can't get out of the Naziris. That seems to be a side point. There doesn't seem to be a point we were talking about what Bisham holds exactly. But he saw a point to everybody. I mean, it's like, maybe there is no gap because if Bisham says he doesn't have to, then we could have said that the price was going according to Beishamai. The reason the Gemara had to show that according to Beishamai and Beisilo, everyone says that if he has no hair, he has to do something. Right. If you would have read the Brisa simply, the Beishamai says you don't have to, then it would have we could have said the Brisa means that it ain't low, the show is okay according to Beishamai. And even if he has, it's not marking. But we just proved that Beishamai, Ravina said that the Beishamai doesn't mean that. It means that he has no way to get out of it. Right. So once you have both according to Beishamai and Beisilo say that if he has no hair, he has to do something. And according to Bisham, he has to do something and he can't. According to Bisham, he has to do something. He can. So anything. So the Brisa can't mean to learn from a Ein Lo to a Yesh Lo. It must be coming from a Yesh Lo to a Ein Lo. And by Yesh Lo, he's supposed to cut his hair. And Ein Lo, he's also supposed to pierce the razor over. The Brisa is going to be Beis Hillel. And so for the first Brisa also, it's just saying that if he has no hand, he should act as if he has a hand.
And so this Hayinu is Rav Badas is going with that.
Is explaining Ravina.
The same kind of thing.
Ravina's pshat is what Rabbi Pidas also held pshat in Beishamai. If Rabbi Pidas said Beishamai holds like a Bolezer, it means that Rabbi Pidas holds like Ravina. That Beishamai doesn't mean he doesn't have to. It means he doesn't help to. And if it's okay if we stop here, the rest of the Gemara is the Lishna Achrina in the whole statement of Rav from here till the Mishnah. And I didn't get it, so if it's okay to be a daf and a half behind. Okay. Yes, you go.
What's the mistake?